Welcome to MI Magazine presents Soul, a weekly entertainment show on fashion, arts and culture, relationships, mental health, and food. Our weekly guest hosts are Christie Grays Chambers, Carla Hill, Dr. Delvena Thomas, and Chef Irie. Now introducing our host, Miss Nicky Gelin.
Hello, everybody, and good night. Happy Wednesday, and welcome to MIA Magazine Presents. So I'm your host. I am Nikki Says YOLO, or Nikki G, and I want to start the show by saying that last week I had the privilege to interview DJ Fly Guy. We were able to talk about his new project called Pivot. And basically, Pivot focuses, it's a short film, it's about 43 minutes, and it talks about his young days as far as starting out with becoming Miami's biggest DJ and entertainer, and to how the pandemic and COVID impacted his life. So the screening is this Sunday coming up. It's on the 31st. It's going to be at the AMC Aventura Theaters. You can go to his IG page. It's A Fly Guy. Or you can buy tickets. It's only $15 at FlyGuyEventbrite.com. So actually, it's FlyGuyPivotEventbrite.com. So if you missed last week's episode, you can rewatch it. It's right there for you to watch. Just go to our Facebook page. It's going to be MIA Media GRP. Again, it's MIA Media GRP on Facebook. And we have a really special guest tonight. She is the COO of Rap Snacks. Yes, it's the official hip hop snacks of the rap industry, basically. So I have a couple of questions. It's really a great concept. It's really smart. And it's been the official hip hop snacks since 1994. So now we're going to go ahead and start with my first co-host. She is our health and wellness advocate, and she's also the host of the Brain Love podcast. So Dr. Delvena, how are you?
Hey. What's up? Who used to say that? What comedian used to say, what's up?
It sounds familiar, but I can't think right now.
It was Martin Lawrence.
Oh, yes, Martin. Yeah, Martin.
You were a little baby, though, when that show was on. Yeah. Martin. What's up? Happy Wednesday night. How are you?
I'm feeling really happy and blessed. I have my health and I can't complain.
Love it. That gratitude, man. And so that's a good segue. We've been talking the last couple of episodes, the last 2 weeks, about self-care, ways to just sort of maneuver in our life to keep ourselves on keep ourselves on a good note, not allow ourselves to feel blue and get down and out because we're doing the things to prevent ourselves from feeling that melancholy. Self-care is important for that. And tonight I wanted to sort of still continue the conversation, but just sort of dovetail a little bit and just talking about coping, ways to train your brain so that you can cope when things are challenging and difficult. Listen, today is January 27th, and 4 to 5 days, we're going to be in February. It'll be Black History Month, aka African American History Month. So when we come back on next week, we'll be in Black History Month. And just, so many things have happened. Whew, my God.
It's heavy.
Yes. I wanted to say in the last 4 years, but just so many things have been packed into the last 3 months, 6 months, really in the last year. People were reminiscing recently, yesterday and today, about Kobe Bryant. Of course, we lost him and his daughter a year ago, and those folks on the helicopter crash. And so it seems for many people, they identify with 2020 basically claiming its fame to be the most tumultuous, disastrous year, starting
Yeah.
with the death of Kobe Bryant, which was so many people's heroes. And so then after Kobe came COVID-19, and then came the deaths and the murders of some Black folk in the community. Ahmaud Arbery sticks out to me. So I just want to talk about the way that we can cope inside of our heads with our thoughts, the things that we can control. Because you can't control what other people do and say, but you can control your response to what happens. And the first thing I would say is to always validate what you feel. So if you're feeling a certain type of way because of work, because of personal, because of family, validate your own feelings. Start with that. Validate your feelings first. And then once you validate what you feel and you say to yourself, you know what? I am feeling kind of somber today. I'm feeling blue. It's okay because we're not robots. We're not perfect. We're not always going to feel like we're on cloud nine and, and just have that euphoria and that happiness. So validate what you're feeling. And then after you validate it, tell yourself, this too shall pass.
Mhm.
This too shall pass. Nothing lasts forever. The only thing that lasts forever is death. So, you have to tell yourself, my feelings are valid. The feeling is temporary and it will pass. It may feel very challenging and it may hurt in the moment and it may sting the hell out of you. But just know that it'll pass. Think about some of the challenges you've had in your past. And you may have felt like in that moment, this is just awful. This is never going to relent. This is not going to go away. But it went away, right?
Yeah, it did. You
Yeah.
survived. Hmm.
And then the other thing we have to tell ourselves is, I am safe. There are a lot of things happening in the country, but overall, I do believe we are safe. I was just saying this in another group. There's more good, there's more positive than evil, than negativity. There are more people in America who mean well for all Americans, Black, white, brown, whatever the case may be, yellow, red, green, whatever it is. We are safe. And just the last thing I'll say, remind yourself you have gotten through 100% of your bad days. So sometimes our brain likes to play tricks on us and tell us that this is not going to get better. And it just speaks so much negativity into our ears. But just know you've gotten through 100% of your days. And that's all I have for you, Nikki.
No, that's really inspiring. Thank you. Well, this too shall pass, right?
Yeah,
So that,
absolutely. So let
yeah.
me hear you say brain love.
Brain love. So we'll see you next week. And now to my next co-host. She is a PBS TV host and our arts and culture connoisseur, Miss Carla Hill. How are you doing tonight? Oh, you're on mute. You have to unmute your mic.
Look at me being the elder in the room. Doggone it. Well, listen, to answer your question, all is well and it is well, right?
Right.
I do believe in putting that energy out. Dr. Delvena is always so inspiring. But you know what else was inspiring, Nikki? Did you watch any of the inauguration? And I think the person that stood out for me, I don't know about you, was Amanda Gorman. What did you think of our young poet laureate?
No, you know what? I thought she was really inspirational, and especially her story to get to where she got to at that point, speaking to millions of people. So very inspiring.
Exactly. Well, you know, the nation was so inspired by Amanda Gorman at the presidential inauguration. And Amanda reminded us of the power of words. But you know, tonight's segment, I want to introduce some of you. Some of you may know this person because she's been around for over 20 years. This is a powerhouse who's championed creativity and, quite frankly, Black voices in our community. Ingrid Bazin. She was born in Jamaica and raised in Barbados, and she's been a force to be reckoned with. You get that? Ingrid, be reckoned with for the past 20 years. She's consistently created events featuring local and international artists in South Florida. Some of them she discovered. Go down the list. and beyond since 2001. And a favor for a friend in terms of planning a session turned into a passion for her that has really grew her reputation as the ultimate socialite, SOULCIALITE, the socialite. And that is the truth. She's a promoter among poets, singers, musicians, DJs, and patrons alike. On the B side is a South Florida-based agency in like niche promotions and events. And she's committed to promoting quality poetry, music, art, and culture in our community, and really on a national level. She also does work in Atlanta. That was pre-COVID, but I know that I'm going to get to what she's doing in these COVID times to help us stay together and culturally aware. She's entertained and inspired by a wealth of people in our community, and she strives to be a portal for their expression. She encourages artists to continue to hone their craft, and this is the truth. In addition to giving access to alternative entertainment, she empowers the community through various events, and she brings awareness to traumatic experiences like reproductive health, domestic violence, mental illness. She has a Just Breathe segment that you should go to her website to look at for meditation and other souls that have survived. So it really is a balance of the very fun, but also the very real things that we're going through as a community. Ingrid B and B-Side Entertainment continue to uplift voices during the pandemic in the most modern way. Everyone's on Clubhouse, and Ingrid is a Clubhouse expert, and it is the perfect venue, literally and figuratively, for the Poetry Spot. And you can catch the Poetry Spot every Wednesday after MIA Soul at 8 p.m. Join Ingrid and the poets from around the nation for weekly open mic poetry. If you were inspired by Amanda Gorman, this is a place that you need to be. This is the place where you need to chill. Anybody remember the 90s when we all used to get together? I'm aging myself, and listen to poetry, all that funk jazz lounge. That was it. Nikki, you're too young. But in closing, you can find Ingrid B and B-Side Entertainment on all social media platforms, and you will see why she continues to be a powerhouse and a cultural maven, truly there to support Black voices throughout the land. I'm so proud of her and so privileged to have been a part of her growth and to see what she's doing now.
Well, I've been to a few of her events, from Miami to Ginger Bay Cafe to the Piano Bar at the Hard Rock before, the pandemic. But
yes,
I can vouch for her. Like, she is phenomenal. The way how she puts everything together, it's so chill, so relaxed, so it's so creative, and the expressionism, like it's wonderful. So I'm for her.
She's the real deal. Check her out and support her.
She is. All right, Ms. Carla Hill, thank you so much. We'll see you next week.
Thank you.
And now to my next co-host. He is a private and personal chef. He's also on the show Taste the Islands on American Public Television. So, Chef Irie, what's up?
How are you? Caught me a bit sipped, did you?
What you sipping on now?
So what I have here is a privately concocted spirit. It is Chambord, which is a black raspberry liqueur with ginger beer. Yes. So I don't know what I should call it. At the end of my talk, I am going to challenge you to come up with a name for this. So you got 4 minutes and 30 seconds left. How are you? You good?
All right. No pressure.
No pressure. So you know what's happening next week Sunday, right?
Your podcast.
Next week Sunday is the Super Bowl. It's Super Bowl 55, girl. And, of course, any football games are usually about tailgating and the food and the vibes, definitely for Super Bowl. But, of course, Super Bowl doesn't allow tailgating on the premises. So it's all about this people, they have other events and stuff, and I'm not sure what this year's Super Bowl is going to be like. So people can now just have tailgates at their houses, right? Yeah. Right. 20, 10, 15, keep it nice and minimum, COVID acceptable. So here are some of the faves, that you're normally going to find, on most menus. Why? Because Super Bowl is all about the finger food. You eat, you drink, you walk, you talk, you watch, you chat stupidness. You always want some wings. You're always gonna find wings. And of course, you can have wings in so many different flavors, honey garlic, sesame, buffalo wings, lemon pepper, jerk chicken, honey garlic. Oh my God, the combinations are endless. Pomegranate, ginger, you name it, you can have. Yes. And of course, there is your favorite, well, another one of the favorites, finger food, sliders. You see that slider here. We got, some lobster slider. We got roast pork slider. And right down in the end in the corner is a black bean burger slider. Yes, it's vegetarian, so sliders are not just about the meat, it's about the flavor and the wholesome goodness in between those two buns. Yes, so, your sliders, they are going to make it on somebody's menu, next week. And of course, right after sliders, we in South Florida, the mecca for, Latino cuisine, you know what I'm saying, man? The empanada. Yeah. Yeah. So, and here you have, not just the different types of fillings for empanadas, but because we have so many people from different countries, Latin countries, there are different types of empanadas, namely, flour, empanadas made from corn, so you have a variety of things that you can choose from to fill and to make your empanadas with and the dippings. Of course, no Super Bowl party, can be had without liquor. You need some liquor. You know what I'm saying? It's either you're gonna make your dainty cocktails, but you know what? I say bump the dainty cocktails and have yourself some jungle juice. Yes, you need some jungle juice. Yes, and jungle juices, you can mix whatever. Rum and vodka together, a little brandy, a little bourbon. You can have, watermelon vodka. You can have several types of rum. You can have sangria and then, add more rum to that. So your jungle juice needs to be spirited, colorful, and spirited. We don't want them like a weak flavored jungle juice. We want the jungle juice when you take a sip, you go, ah. So, and the good thing about, when you make, cocktails, I guess, if you would, when you're doing the jungle juice, it kind of saves on money a little bit because you just, you make one big vat of it. And sometimes when it's done, it's done. Maybe you have some beer later or whatever, but when the jungle juice done, the jungle juice done. All right. That means Super Bowl done. Go home.
All right.
I hope everybody has a great Super Bowl next week. You want a chef to cater your Super Bowl party? Here I am.
I saw, were those Patriot flags I saw in the jungle juice?
Listen, man, it don't matter whose flag is in there, but so I'm rooting for Kansas City. That's what I'm rooting for.
That's not Patriots
or Tampa Bay. No.
Okay,
so
just saying.
Kansas City and Tampa Bay for making it into the Super Bowl this year, and I hope Kansas City kicks that tush.
So I got a name. What you think about burgundy ginger?
Ooh, well, I like that. Ooh, that sounds kind of
ginger or ginger. All right.
No.
All right, Chef Irie. So thank you so much, and we'll see you next week.
Salud.
And now on to our featured guest. She is COO of Rap Snacks. And again, it's the official hip hop snacks since 1994, y'all. So Miss Taylor McCain, thank you so much.
Hello.
Good night. I have so many questions. It's so interesting.
No problem. I'm here to answer them. Actually, I was going to tell Chef Irie we might need to get some wrap snacks to go along with his dishes. So I have to connect with him.
I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm happy. I can't complain. You know, I have my health and strength, and I'm just blessed.
All right.
So, thank you. So tell us a little about your background.
Yeah, so I actually am a native of Greensboro, North Carolina. That's a small town. Everybody's like, where is that? Compared to Miami, it's a pretty small place. But I moved to Miami about 3 years ago to work for Rap Snacks. I got the opportunity to work in the entertainment industry. Coming out of college, I was a journalism major. I thought I wanted to do broadcasting. I was so sold on it. And then I switched gears. I was like, I just want to do entertainment. And so this opportunity came across, and here I am. I've been working with the team for 3 years, and I have started my own business as well, the L.E.A.D firm, in addition to working at Rap Snacks, which is really exciting. That is a educational consulting firm that works with higher ed professionals and students. So that's kind of how I've gotten started thus far.
Okay, and I got a couple of questions about the L.E.A.D firm too coming up. So,
all right, no problem.
So tell us about the inception of Rap Snacks. How did that come about?
Yes, so I get to work with the ultimate snack genius on a daily basis. James Lindsay is the creator and founder of Rap Snacks. He's actually here in Miami as well. He started this brand back in 1994. That actually happens to be the year that I was born in. So every time I think
that's so cool.
Yeah. So it's really cool. But he was working for various consumer goods companies, and then he found himself really, working hard with the different store owners, but realizing there wasn't a space for Black brands and for also products that could resonate with Black consumers. And so he was like, I have to figure out something. And so he also liked to mix different flavors of chips together. Sometimes he'll mix pretzels and Doritos together, and you're not getting it at first when you see him doing it, but it's because he's just trying to he was creating a unique product in just that in what he was doing. And so he considers himself to be the mad snackologist, but that's how I got started. Just finding a lane for Black brands, and then finding a creative way to make the product stand out, but also represent the Black culture.
So, okay. So I did my research. How did the partnership start with having hip hop artists faces on the snack? How did that come about? How did the brand build based on that? Because that's the overall concept, right?
Yes, it is. And so when he first started the brand, he actually had fictional characters on there, and it used to be MC Potato. That was the first chip, Mr. MC Potato on the Rap Snacks bag. And then with him trying to connect with the rap culture and going into the different labels and showing different artists hey, there's more than just making music. There needs to be something that's attached to your brand that you can sell and that will help your legacy to be able to live long. And so artists were buying into that opportunity and being able to also be attached to something that they love to do too, which is snack. And so partners like Master P and Young Jock, those first faces that were on Rap Snacks came about. And so they've still been rolling with us ever since then. So it just all is about partnerships completely, and being able to show artists that, they also need to have various streams of income, and that there's an opportunity for them to be able to put consumer goods behind their brand so that their legacy lasts.
Okay. So are there plans to expand into different product offerings outside of chips?
Yes, so we were very blessed actually. Before COVID started, we were already working on a product, and we were able to roll it out during COVID, and that happens to be ramen noodles. So everybody loves ramen noodles, and they eat ramen noodles all the time. It was the best COVID snack I know for me. So when I was quarantining, so we have expanded out to ramen noodles, as well as recently we just launched pork skins that are now
with Cardi B.
Cardi B is on there. And so, and they're actually sold in Walmart. So that's where they rolled out actually, is in Walmart, and the pork skins. And so we are now also selling merch online.
Okay.
So you can get your Rap Snacks sweatshirt. Yeah, and you can get that online. And we are looking into expanding into different fields, including candy and drinks. we just feel like there's no lane that we can't compete in.
So is it nationwide as of right now, or is it international, or what's the footprint?
Mm-hmm. So when I first started working at Rap Snacks back in 2017, which was the relaunch. So when we first put artists like Migos and Fetty Wap on our chips, as well as we changed the flavor profiles to make them more unique, to make them more seasoned, and to be a fresher. We were focused on finding ways to also get the chips in spaces like Walmart, Kroger, 7-Eleven, and Circle K. And praise God, we have done it. It took a lot of no's to get the yes. So recently we actually just got into Kroger about a month ago. We've been in Walmart, and Walmart keeps asking us for different products. So that is definitely right on point, as well as we're in your local, in your favorite, everyone has that favorite corner store, and we are there. You can find every Rap Snack product there. And we are looking at expansion into Europe as well as Africa. So this time right now where things are kind of tough as it pertains to exporting goods and importing goods, we have been trying to identify partners that are international that would want to sell our brand. And we've had a strong demand for the product internationally. So we are hoping to reach out there. But we do have online sales. So we do have a lot of customers who buy our product online, who get it shipped straight to their front door, whether they be anywhere in the world.
Oh, awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited. I had no idea. I'm like, wait, what is this? Like, this is...
Yes.
It's so cool. Okay.
Yeah.
So you launched a program called the L.E.A.D firm.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So what is the mission behind that?
Yeah. So actually my first year out of school, I held a position in my organization, Delta Sigma Theta. I was the national second vice president, which is the third highest ranking position in the organization. And I was finding myself partnering a lot with my counterparts who were in other organizations who held that same position. We were doing different workshops and leadership and professional development. And we were like, we should take this to the next level. And so I was also working in higher ed at the time. And so we wanted to find a way to create a program and a business where young people who are fresh out of college, who could understand and resonate with students as well as higher professionals, and be able to give them training to be able to move forward and see how their skills that they were developing in the college space were transferable for their leadership wherever they wanted to go past their college years. So we started that. I started it with my good friend, Jared Benjamin, who works alongside with me. And we just have taken off from there. We actually held an awesome event this past weekend, our first virtual summit for the year.
Oh no, that's awesome. Is there like another one lined up coming up, another virtual event?
Yes. So we have one we have one always in the springtime, and then we have another one in the fall. So we will have another opportunity in the fall. If you follow us on L.E.A.D_speaks, we will definitely put out more information about those opportunities. But in the in-between time, we also do, virtual trainings. It doesn't have to just be in the higher ed space. We work with various organizations. We work with different companies to do leadership training because we find that there is a need for that on all levels.
Mm-hmm. Well, so to kind of segue, so being a woman of color and just being in the role that you're in, what kind of obstacles have you had to face, and what changes are still needed?
Yeah, so I think that one of in particular, as if looking at Rap Snacks and looking at the hip hop industry, that's a very male dominated space. Sure. It just is. It happens. Yeah. I mean, no matter what, it's just a male dominated space. But I think that one of the biggest challenges has been for even females like Cardi B or the Megan Thee Stallions or whomever it is. They're having a hard time breaking through that because it's just a space that is being taken up by all men. But I think that there has been a time where we've been silenced, and it's just now we're being heard louder than ever. It's just amazing. And so I think that, one of the challenges that we're facing now as Black women is that we just need to be heard. Someone just needs to listen. And the thing is, we just have to keep saying it and keep saying it, and someone's going to listen. Because I find myself saying something and they might not have gotten it. And then it's like, I'm going to circle back on that. I'm going to say it again and again and again, and eventually gets heard, because it's not until you don't even have to keep saying it. Actually, I just start doing it. Doing it, and then it gets noticed. So I think that is a strategy that women are making in the industry now, is that they're not just being silenced, but they're using their words and they're using their actions to break through those barriers.
I see it happening. I do. And frequency sells. It does.
Yes, yes. Just got to hang in there. Okay.
Definitely. So what legacy do you want to leave behind for your generation, for Rap Snacks, for the L.E.A.D firm? What's your legacy that you want to leave behind in general?
I would say the legacy that I want to leave behind is that we don't know it all, and we have to just keep learning. We always map out everything that we want to do in our life, how we want to see things happen. And sometimes we just need to flow. And so the legacy that I want to leave behind is that take advantage of every opportunity, listen to every person who has something to say, because when you have an opportunity to be able to do that, you'll realize that it's a lesson that you're going to need later on in life to help you be successful. So the legacy that I want to leave is that, just be diligent, be patient, and keep pushing. Because if you just do that and not try to plan it all on your own and know that you're just going with the flow, it makes all the difference.
Wow. I was like, I felt that. So what would you tell your younger self, and how old would you be?
Ooh, what would I tell myself?
Take your time.
I would say everything is transferable. Everything is transferable. I think my younger self, I just didn't understand why I was doing the things that I was doing. I didn't understand why, you have late nights of studying. And I would say this started even in high school, late nights of studying, balancing sports, balancing extracurriculars. I always have been overly active, but it's all been so transferable to now. Being able to juggle different personalities, being able to juggle different opportunities, but also because I spent time learning everything that I could, it's all useful now. So, don't just count it out. It's all transferable. So I would tell my little 14-year-old self, who's a freshman, just couldn't understand why, I was so tired. I'd be so tired after school. I don't want to go do this extracurricular or whatever, but it's all transferable because now I'm just seeing it on the big stage now.
Now you see it. Wow. Well, Taylor, thank you so much for being our guest tonight. I'm about to order me some Rap Snacks.
Yeah, we'll have to get you some. So we'll make sure that you get you some Rap Snacks. I think that you'll really, really love them. They're like the most well-seasoned chips out there.
Oh, well, yeah. Well, it better be.
Yes, well, yes.
And look, somebody said Rap Snack. Wait, I've had a few of them. Popcorn. Oh, there's popcorn too?
It's popcorn. We have popcorn. We have corn products. So if you like puffs, my favorite product is the white cheddar and with the Dabber Ranch puffs. They're with the Migos on them. This is my favorite. So yeah, we have anything that you can think of, we have it.
Awesome. Well, thanks again. And so I look forward to the summit coming up in springtime. So we'll definitely post it on our Facebook page. So thank you so much and have a good night.
Thank you so much. And you have an even better night.
Thank you. And